Hey everyone, we're at the International Quilt Festival in Houston, Texas, and we're visiting with Jane Dunnewold, and I understand that you are doing something new.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me all about it.
I'm so excited. So I'm really drawn to old quilts. This started by getting an old quilt and thinking, what can I do to change it so dramatically? So I bought a gallon of white Fast and Final spackling, and I spackled the entire quilt. And that was pretty cool, and actually that piece got into Quilt National in 2015.
God. Okay.
But then...
Okay, now spackling is what we put on the wall to...
Yeah, it is.
Okay, and when you spackled it, did you let that dry?
Yeah.
And that became your...
So you spackle it and you pull it real, you use a squeegee, so you put a real thin sheer layer on it and you can see the patterning behind it. But the thing
Does
is,
it
it's
stiffen
like...
it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
it's like the idea of quilt, but not quilt.
Okay.
Which I think it's challenging because we're always thinking all the time, aren't we? What's a quilt and what isn't a quilt? And people get in these fussy, arguments over it. So I thought, well, I'm just going to make this so it can't be a quilt, but it's still a quilt.
Oh.
And then I thought, well, I don't really like spackling over a quilt that's finished that somebody could use. So then I started buying, I'm the new fan of eBay. I bought all these, I started buying up blocks. So now I'm assembling the blocks on a eco felt background, which is made from pop bottles, and then spackling over it and then printing directly onto the spackling where you can see the pattern coming from behind. And I am like totally in love with this.
Oh my gosh. I think I've got to sign up for one of your classes. Are you doing those in your studio?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. That sounds so great. You're always creating new things for us to enjoy.
Well, doesn't it? I mean, we're teachers. We have to set a good example for just trying something new, right?
That's great. So you stitched through this.
Well, that was the other thing. Then I started sewing through it. Then I realized I had to sew through it and then do the spackling later, because you can't do this with a nice sewing machine.
Okay. Oh.
But you can hand sew through it. So then I started embroidering on the spackling, and I have 4 pieces. Last week I had a studio week, and I got 4 pieces done, like 12-hour days. But I'm so excited about it.
That's great.
It's fun.
I love the fact that
I'll send you some pictures.
Yes, that's great. Thank you for sharing that with us.
Oh, sure. My pleasure.